Hi, welcome to the Music Scene. I'm your host, Stephanie DeGraw. We're going to be talking to bands, interviewing them, seeing some of their concert footage, and of course, checking out their latest video. Keep it right here for the Music Scene. Hi, and welcome to the Music Scene. I'm your host, Stephanie DeGraw. Tonight we're real excited. We're with the Crystal Method, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm Ken Jordan.
And I'm Scott Kirkland.
Great, and they're here at the Murray Theater in Salt Lake City, Utah on a whirlwind tour. So we've got them here to ask them a couple of questions. You guys have been making music for a long time and very consistent. About how many years have you been in this?
Well, we put out our first single in 1994.
So about 16 years,
Yeah.
thereabouts. You just did a great new album as well. And
Thank you.
let us know kind of the name of it and how would you describe it? You do so many different types of musical things.
It's called Divided by Night, and it is a little bit of a departure from the last record, but I think each one of our records we've been able to say that. It's, we try not to repeat ourselves, and we love the idea of working with different people that from different backgrounds that can bring something new to our music. And the single "Drowning in An Owl" features Mata Shahu,
Yes.
and great video for that as well. You guys could check that out at the crystalmethod.com or.
And I think that's one of the videos we actually will be playing on the
Oh,
show
sorry, you don't
after
even
the.
have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just stay right here.
Stay right here on the Music Scene, and we're going to have interviews, some concert footage, and their latest video. Tell me a little bit more about this latest album. You had one of the people I read wasn't sure if they wanted to collaborate, and so you went to them and encouraged them to collaborate. And do you usually go and pick these people, or do you find sometimes they'll come and call you up to collaborate?
Sometimes we get approached, yeah, but I generally, as we're working on the song and it's starting to take shape, and we, feel that it might need a certain style of vocal or something like that, then we try to find the voice or the person
That fits it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Completes it.
And so then we approach them. And, yeah, sometimes that one you were talking about is with on this track "Slipstream" with Jason Lytle, and. Wasn't that he didn't want to work with us, but he just thought he wanted to be sure we weren't going to do like weird gimmicky things with his vocal,
Right.
And we assured him that it would be, a song and not like, not like a DJ scratching his vocal or something like that.
You also, though, besides going around and touring, you do a lot of, I guess I'd say, marketing, advertising. You get into the film and the music for television shows.
Well, we wrote the theme for the series Bones, which is on Fox. That's all I know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. We also scored a movie called London, much different from Bones. A small little independent movie. In the background, you'll hear our sound check.
Lovely sound check going on, yes.
Of course, we've got them trained so well that sound check could go on without us.
There you go. Well, that's when you know you've arrived, when someone else is doing all the legwork, right?
But yeah, I mean, there's other things that have been licensed into some commercials, and one thing that is exciting that's coming out later this year in August is this X Games 3D.
Oh,
it's a movie. It's a movie that I think it was shot at last year's X Games, but it's all in 3D.
3D and what are the big theaters called?
IMAX.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's going to be 3D IMAX. It looks really amazing.
Yeah.
And then there's the Nike Drive thing where we made music for runners and for people who are working out. So there's all kinds of things that I try to do to keep ourselves active and busy, and also to just again try to evolve and continue to move forward.
When you tour around and you get to different cities, would you say the audiences vary in what they want to hear from you, or do you pretty much play the same show throughout?
We have changed the show a little bit from our first show that we did on this tour, but we've kind of got it where it's pretty.
Right where you want it.
Yeah, right now. So you get people that react differently to different songs and want to hear, different, some of the older things, We've got new kind of reworked, remixed versions of them. But yeah, the crowds are different. Last night in Denver was like more of a big festival rave kind of things, and there was many interesting costumes.
Yes. Never a dull moment on the tour, I'm sure. You really started, like so many people do, in humble surroundings, but you're able to make the most of it and move forward. Could you kind of tell us what that was like, and maybe even from a production standpoint, what you used to use back then? Do you still use any of those same things for your certain kind of sound?
For our first studio, it was called the Bomb Shelter, right. And we played on this idea that it was in the bomb shelter, and I think we did we were shooting some video, and then somebody did this clever thing because there is actually a bomb shelter in the front yard, but it was actually the studio was in a 2-car garage, and we basically drywalled and soundproofed it, and the room wasn't that much bigger than this stage. It didn't have a lot of gear, but the gear that we had was situated in the room in a way that allowed us to sort of roll around on our chairs and plug and play. And the systems that we used back then were, much different from what we're using now. The computers obviously have evolved, and we went from storing things on 44 megabyte, SideQuest drive cartridges that would wind up, and you put it in there, and you just go hope you would hit all your C sounds with it. Yeah. But yeah, now to be able to go down and buy 2 terabytes of drive space for the same amount of money that it cost us to buy 6 cartridges, those 44 meg cartridges.
The computers and the software have changed drastically. Basically, as soon as you buy a computer, it's obsolete in like a couple of months. So,
but our technique hasn't really changed that much. We love to use a mixture of analog synths and old guitar pedals, and you do stuff inside the box, inside the computer with Pro Tools. And
right.
We've always gravitated towards organic sounds, whether it be drums or analog bass and synths and distortion. Harmonics and stuff will always be a part of our sound.
Yes, we still are using a lot of the same things we used on the first album. Some synthesizers. There's just one brand. It's a Nord lead computer. They've made changes to. They've updated it throughout the years, but we've been using that a long time.
We have updated some things. We've brought some things into the studio. We've purchased some older analog things. It's like a great guitar. It has a sound that's never going to go out of style.
How do you keep your spirits up when you've been on the road a while? You get a little tired?
We have a pretty amazing family out here on the road. We all get along well. We have the same tour manager, front of house, sound, lighting director, backline tech, for the same people for like the last 10 years. So, you leave part of your family at home, and you get reacquainted with some of your family that you haven't seen in a while. Getting the crowds that we've been getting, the excitement they've shown during the show, and having great conversations with the fans that have been with you for a while, and some fans that just saw you for the first time live, and knowing that you have done a good show and all the work that's paid off, it's really gratifying, and it does help take down any of the negatives that may come along with traveling and touring. And the show that's going to be put on tonight and has been put on for the last 5 weeks is really something special.
Sure, and you're doing what you love.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, true.
Right.
Yes,
so
that is
wonderful.
true. Yeah, that is true. I can think of worse things.
Yes, worse things than doing what you love, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
You've been watching my interview with the Crystal Method. Thanks for watching The Music Scene. I'm Stephanie DeGraw.